Okay, recording.
Oh, in English.
Español y luego le hacemos las preguntas en inglés si quieres.
Okay.
Bienvenidos de nuevo a nuestro programa de Neurodivagantes. Esta vez somos bastante más personas, así que a ver qué tal va. Hoy me acompañan Abraham, Ignacio, Francia, Juan y Sebastián y, por supuesto, yo. Así que vamos a ello.
Bueno, nos presentamos así rápido un poquito. Sí, Francia, ¿de dónde eres? ¿Quién eres?
Bueno, muchas gracias por el espacio. Yo soy de Chile, de Santiago, específicamente de la comuna de San Bernardo.
Sebastián.
Hi there, I'm Sebastián Zabaleta. I'm 25 years old. I'm from Lima, Peru.
Okay, thank you. Juan Andrés. Microphone.
You're muted.
No, soy Juan Andrés, vivo en Cali y tengo 19 años.
Good. Ignacio.
Soy Ignacio Pantoja, vivo en Madrid y tengo 39 años.
Genial. Pues vamos a esperar a nuestro invitado de hoy y a pasarlo bien un poco. Pues nada, recibamos con un gran aplauso a Andrea, Nonni de Pillow.
Oh, hello everybody. Good to see you.
Hello.
Hello. So, thank you for joining us. I think we are excited to ask you few questions. I don't know who wants to be the first.
So first of all, could you introduce yourself a bit, like explain what you do, who you are?
Yeah.
Sure. I just lost the connection. Can you guys hear me? Do you hear me well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. So I'll just introduce myself. Is that the question, right?
Yeah, it wasn't that the question.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. So first of all, it's very nice for me to be here with you today. I'm Andrea, and I run the Italian YouTube channel The Pillow. So basically, my job is just to tell stories through my videos to our community that it's been growing and growing since we opened the channel 10 years ago. And this is my full-time job, and it's also my passion.
Wow.
So you say you make stories. Could you elaborate a bit on that?
Did I say sorry? What? Sorry.
So you said you tell stories in your YouTube channel. Could you elaborate a bit?
Yeah. Now the connection it's better for me, so I can hear you now.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
So basically, the stories we tell are related to traveling and to getting to know people around. Our philosophy is just made with two words, which is another perspective, because we believe that there are many different ways to look at life and many different paths that people can choose. And nowadays, looking around, we noticed that the majority of people, for some reason, is choosing pretty much the same path, which is like a big highway full of traffic where everybody goes. And on the same time, there are many other little alleys that people could go. I'm talking specifically about life choices and, experience and everything. So we're interviewing people that basically took another road. I just used the traffic metaphor. I don't know if it was clear or not.
Yeah, it's pretty clear, at least for me.
Fantastic. Beautiful.
So may I ask why the pillow? Why the name in this case?
Yeah, actually, the answer to it's not really exciting because it's a word that I learned 10 years ago, just when I had to pick a name for the YouTube channel. I just moved to London back then, and I didn't know much English, and I wanted to give to this project an English name. And I was looking for some words, and I couldn't find it. Then at a certain point, I just learned the pillow, which in Italian translates to cuscino. And I didn't know it before, and to me it sounded very nice. Just the sound of it. It was very round and soft. I don't know, it gave me some good emotions. And on the same time, I just didn't want to link the name of the project to a specific meaning, because I was hoping for this project to be long in time, like 10 years or even more. So if I linked the name to a specific meaning, then maybe in time I would have lost interest in that meaning, and I would just change my personal taste or whatever. The channel has changed a lot in time. We were doing very different things back in the days. So with this name that has actually no other meaning than the literal meaning, I'm still very happy with it today. So it's kind of a strategy not to get bored by it.
It is a good name, I gotta say. I like it.
Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it.
It is a good name. Sebastian, do you want to ask any questions?
You travel to another country to create stories. No.
Yeah. Can you repeat it louder?
How many stories did you write?
Okay. How many stories did you create? How many videos?
Okay. Well, in time we published around 150 videos. That it can sound like a high number, but actually it's spread through 10 years time. So it's actually not that much. It's just like an average of 15 videos per year. And yeah, that's how many stories we told since today. Yeah.
Okay.
Ignacio? Any?
A question.
Yeah?
It's difficult for you to be watch the videos, or you are what is the word of vergüenzas?
Shame.
Shame. Yes.
Embarrassment.
Embarrassment. Yeah.
Embarrassment. The videos with the people, or never have embarrassing.
Oh, I think he's trying to ask that if you have ever been embarrassed while doing your videos when you were
Yes.
Or
starting
while watching
something.
yourself, or yeah.
Okay, well, actually, I changed my attitude in front of the camera through the years. It took me some time, because as a person, I am a shy person. So the first time I was appearing in front of the camera, I was a little bit, nervous, if that's your question. And at the beginning, it was not very easy for me. But since this was what I really wanted to do, I was ready to overcome this kind of fear that I had. So just by time and experience, I got better with it. And now, after 10 years, of course, you don't feel shy anymore. But now the goal for us is not to let the people we interview feel shy. So my goal now is to make you feel comfortable if you are in front of my camera, and make you feel like you're talking to a friend. And this is what we're trying to say, because of course it's normal for somebody that it's not used to appear on camera to feel a little bit closed and shy and nervous and all that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're
we
welcome.
say that. Juan Andrés, ¿quieres preguntar? Do you want to ask a question? We might have to help him with the English, but it's okay. ¿Le preguntamos algo, Juan Andrés? Micrófono.
Where are you from?
That's a good question.
Nice question. I'm from Italy. My country is Italy, specifically Bologna. It's the closest city to my hometown.
So, is there any specific story that you like telling, or just, I don't know, impacted you more than the rest?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, there are many stories that left something inside me and changed me in a way. Because for every time we tell a story, the first question we ask to ourselves it's is it something that I'm interested in, or is it a story or a person that I would have met even without a camera? If the answer is yes, then we go to do the video. If it's no, we just don't film it. So most of the stories had an impact on me. There are some that had even a bigger impact, and I'm referring to stories where we met specific individuals that are living a unique life, that took some choices, and they welcomed us in a very warm way and in a very honest way to their life. And I was very impressed by how authentic they are living. For example, we met a guy living on top of a mountain alone. He didn't meet anyone in years, and he didn't visit a city in like 30 years, so in a very long time. And when we met him, he was kind of meeting an animal, but in the positive way, because everything he was doing, he was just very real, and he was just living in nature, collecting herbs and mushrooms and fruits, like an animal. Really, he was feeling part of the landscape. He was not like somebody from outside, but he was part of it, and that was amazing. And we met many people like those, and I had the most beautiful conversation with those people.
I would like to ask you a question. I'm going to. There's one nice question one student asked yesterday. We didn't have time to go through it and to answer. And I promised him that I was going to say his name. His name is Camilo. Su nombre es Camilo, and he asked a very nice question about the money, but he didn't know how to explain or how to ask properly. What he meant and what he wants to know is, how is being a YouTuber? How is your job? How do you make the money? How do you get the money from all this kind of? How is the job of YouTuber?
Yes, so that's an interesting question that Camillo asked, and we say hello to him. Basically, as a job, I would say it's in general not an easy job at the beginning, because every YouTuber that I met for the first part, he struggles in terms of money. So you need to be very passionate and to also have another job at the beginning, because the revenue you get, it's mostly from two different source of income. One, it's the advertising that YouTube places in front of your video, and it just depends on how much views you make in that video and what topic you talk about and a few other things. And at the end of the month, YouTube is just paying you for the views you did. So at the beginning, these money are just very low, because maybe you're just doing very few views. Then you have another source, which is brands, sponsor, and this kind of collaboration. So maybe somebody wants to be on your video, and they just send you their product. They pay you some money just to show their product to your audience. And that's something that happens only when you become a little bit bigger in terms of numbers. So again, the first part is the hardest. Then there's a limit, more or less. For us, it was, I don't know, maybe from 20, 30,000 subscribers, we started to notice an increase, and some brands started to come, and the YouTube revenue was getting a bit higher. And then from 100,000 subscribers, we had the biggest escalation. After that, we had many brands interested in working with us, and the money that we were making and in the end of every month were enough to say, okay, this is now our full-time job. And when I say our, I'm talking about myself and my colleague and friend Alessandro, that started with me, and we are now making a full living out of it because we have revenue from those two different things that I just explained.
Disappear for a second, I imagine.
Yeah.
I think that was the case. I hope it's not going to happen anymore. Thanks for your
Now we
patience.
can see here the amazing Francia with us. We swapped one of the students because we couldn't be more than 6 in the call. But
Hello, Francia.
Francia, let us start with you if you want. One question?
Oh, well, one question. How do you begin your project?
Yeah,
Good one.
the beginning of the YouTube channel started in 2014 in October exactly. So it's going to be 10 years in this year, at the end of the year. And it started very randomly, like many YouTubers start. You don't expect it to become a job at the beginning. You don't expect it to become very big. You just start because you like doing videos and telling stories with the videos. So I just started in London. I bought a little second-hand camera. I didn't have a lot of budget. I was 19 years old. So I said, okay, let's try to invest some savings in this little camera and let's try to go around in the streets of London to interview some people, some strangers, and to create some interviews. And that was the beginning. And probably we were very lucky because after a very few videos, we just had an audience. For some reason, people were interested in our stories and in our videos since the beginning. So it was easy for us to keep going and invest more money in the equipment and little by little build what we are today.
Yes, you're very lucky.
Okay, I'm hard worker, because I guess you have to work. You have to work a lot. You have to be passionate. I don't know what you think, guys. This is a question also for everybody. I think here the point sometimes is when you don't see results from the beginning, some people just give up. What the and as Andrea said, first you have to have another job, and then you have to work very hard, and it's just sort of a hobby, no? On your free time, spare time, you work on your channel, you work on your ideas. So I think that's the key, no? Just keep going. Like in London, we say there is a sort of a slogan: keep calm and carry on. No, that's very keep going, and that's very.
Yeah, this was my case exactly. Like for us, it took almost 4 years to make it a job. We both had to keep doing other jobs for 4 years before we could say, okay, this is now a full-time job. So yeah, it's just a matter of working, having a bit of luck, and believing mostly in the project. For us, it was easy to believe in the project because we really, really wanted to do it. Like I noticed that my first thought when I was waking up in the morning was, okay, let's try to do the best video I can. And when I was going to bed at night after doing another job, I was thinking about it all the time. It was almost an obsession, It was like, okay, I need to be better. I need to try this. I need to try that. So it was easy for me just not to think about money or to think about the work. It was just, I cannot wait to wake up tomorrow and start editing and start filming and start traveling to shoot something around. And so that was the hardest part, that's for sure.
Something that is also really important to say is that it doesn't matter how many lucky chances you get. If you are not able to take advantage of those chances, it doesn't matter. Like, not only it happened to you, but you were able to take advantage of it, and you're here now because you were skilled enough to do what you had to.
Yeah, that's actually another interesting point. To me, luck, it's something that exists, but you have to stimulate it. You have to interact with it. You have to punch it. It's not just something that is there and luck chooses blindly who to go to. No, it's just something that you can attract if you try your best and you create chances to be lucky. So it's a combination of both. Yeah.
Did you or have you had any moment in all this year when you thought, not that you were okay, I want to change, or I think this is not going to work, or then you couldn't see the results you wanted and you were worried, or you worried about having to choose another path?
Well, not really. For the first part, I always had some B plans. So I was like, I don't expect it to work. So I study at the university, I start working in another field. And if it works, I'm happy. So I was not worried at all. Then it worked. And I was like, oh, fantastic. Then I can quit the rest and stay here. And since I started to focus there, actually, I forgot about the B plans, and I just went 100% to it. Now that I'm about to turn 29, and when I started I was 19, so it's a very different chapter of my life, I'm starting to think again about B plans, not because I'm afraid that it can end, but just because I see it as I see life in chapters, and I would like to probably expand the activity to other fields. This will always remain my main activity, because it's what I live for in a way. We're not just talking about a job in this case. For me, it's just the reason why I wake up in the morning. As I said, I feel it in a very deep way, but also start to create some B plans. Yeah, but I wasn't worried about failing or this kind of stuff. I don't really know why.
Any question from you, Sebastian, Ignacio?
No, I don't know.
No, Sebastian, any questions? Okay, if you want, you can ask. I've got a question. No, I don't know if. Okay, as you know, we are a group of neurodivergent people. No, some people with any neurodiversity or any autism. Pain, no, and being recognized in the street, being touched, being, at some point, okay, you get recognized in the. Okay, there's a bit of background noise. You get, yeah, noise, guys. Somebody? Ignacio, maybe. Yeah. At some point, you get recognized in the street. You get, people to take photos with you. How do you deal with that? No, it's something you enjoy, or at some point you get overwhelmed.
Okay, this is something that when it started for me, well, first of all, I have to say that I'm not, there are many different levels of fame or of being recognized, and I'm not in the highest levels, which is a very, very stressful things that you cannot even go anymore to the shopping store, you cannot go to the supermarket. I'm talking about the big guys. Let's imagine Michael Jackson couldn't do a normal life at all. So this is, of course, an extreme example. I'm in a section where it's, to me, very enjoyable. Because if I go to a big city, I don't know, an average can be between 5 and 10 people in one day can stop me and say, hello, I like your videos. And this, to me, at the beginning was very, very fulfilling for my ego. I was like, wow, really, people are saying hello to me. I'm just doing videos on YouTube, and people are recognizing me. So it boosted my enthusiasm and also my ego, as I said. Now I still love it, but it can happen a few times that it also happens in a private situation where you would prefer to stay private. But it's very, very rare, and I see it as part of the job. It's the reason why I can work with it is because of the people that watch my videos. So it's the minimum I can do to stop, to take a selfie if they are interested in it, or to stop for a conversation. Mostly our audience, and I'm very proud of it, are people that are not very into screaming or getting crazy, because of course I'm not that kind of image on YouTube, but they are more into conversating. So they ask me about the last video, what did I think about that, what's my personal opinion about a specific topic, and for me it's very interesting to stop and to talk with them. So overall it's positive, but the question is actually on point, because there are two sides of this
coin.
thing, of the coin. Yeah.
Questions?
So, what do you think is the hardest part of your job, of being a content creator?
There are many hard parts that you have to deal with, in my opinion. It's a very easy job compared to others. I don't want to sound like it's hard to be a YouTuber, but there are some parts that from outside is not very easy to understand. And I'm just thinking about myself. Before, I wasn't expecting a few things that then happened afterwards. One of them, for example, is you have to learn how to deal with numbers. So most of our job goes around numbers. You publish a video that gets a specific number of views, then a number of likes, a number of comments. And if you will be able to keep going, it's just very much related to those numbers. So at the beginning, it's normal to put a lot of your attention to those numbers. And if you exaggerate with it, then it can also be very dangerous for your mental health, for example, or for your well-being in general, because you just link your happiness to something that you cannot control at all, and to something that it's pretty much, I don't want to say random, but it just depends on an algorithm, on a season, on, on many factors that you cannot control. And so I had to learn how to keep a distance between me and the numbers, and to put my attention to the quality of my job. And then I see the numbers now as a consequence of the quality and of the value that I put in the job. But for a few years, it was a bit of a problem for me to switch these things.
I guess here with this curious is, okay, we just starting with this project, with this podcast, and it's a good advice, no? Like focus on what we do and not on numbers. But any advice you could give us with that, no? How, apart from focus on the content, some people on the spectrum, some people that watch us as well, very into numbers, no? So numbers can be an obsession, and just interaction, things that we cannot prevent or we cannot predict, is a difficulty for us, no? So living in that edge, if we can say, of what's going to happen, who is going to like my views, why they don't interact. Is there any advice that you could give to all of us and the autistic community in general that are starting with this kind of projects?
Yes. I think that in general, in every moment, it could be very helpful to always remember that numbers are just numbers. And when they are very low, it doesn't mean that the content is not valuable. And when they're very high, it doesn't mean that the content is very valuable. My advice to you could be,
no? Right?
Excuse me?
It may just be luck, or
yeah, it can be many things. I see thousands of contents that go viral, and they don't have anything. They're just empty content that just, mostly now when we have TikTok or Reels, so very short content that communicate to the belly of the people, and you just see it. Maybe 1 million people sees it now, and in 1 hour from now, people don't remember it anymore. So I don't think this is what you're trying to do on the web, and same as for us. You, in your case, with your project, you're already way above our initial level, because we didn't know who we were. We didn't know our identity online. We didn't know what we wanted to say. We just knew we wanted to do it. We were full of enthusiasm and energy, but we were more lost than you are now. I see you already know what you want to do. And the recommendation could just be, if you focus on what you want to share and what value you want to bring to the world, things will happen. At the beginning, it could be even better to hide the numbers, just like do the content. Do I like the content? You send it to all of you. Are you proud of what you're sharing with the world? Yes, then go for it. If the answer is no, then don't go for it. Try to make it better, try to change something, and then go for it. If there's a soul inside the content, and in your case there is a goal, there's a mission, it's clear, you can help many people with what you're doing, in my opinion. So just go for it. And if gives something to people, then at a moment or another, it will work. That's my experience.
Thank you. I hope Francia is speech language therapy. We therapists, we say in English, which is fonoaudióloga in Spanish. Francia, maybe you can ask a question regarding communication, or how to communicate. I don't know. It's quite interesting, no? How to communicate in front of camera, how to use all the muscles and everything. Maybe you want to ask any question regarding?
I'm thinking about the secrets to connect with the people. I think that you have a secret. What's the secret, in your opinion?
That's good.
To connect with people. Okay, I think I don't really know. My way to try to connect with people through a camera, it's to try to be honest. I felt in time that people feel if you are telling the truth or not. And I'm not talking about lying, like I say, guys, I'm 2 meters tall, like specific lies. But I'm more into when you tell a story, if you're talking honestly with people, or if you are just pretending to be something else, they feel it and they create a distance. When I started to be more honest, more real, people connected more with me. So it might sound easy. For me, it was not, to be more authentic with the community. But when it happened, I felt more connected to them.
Be yourself is the secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. It sounds like a rhetorical, philosophical thing, but in my case, it is. It kind of, it creates an effect to the people that you feel like you're breaking the screen and you're coming outside the screen to the life of people. You are there, you're interacting with them. They feel you on the skin. When we put a specific music to a specific shot with a specific voice tone, people are with us, and in a way I feel very connected with them and they feel connected with us. So yeah, that's probably our secret, if you want to call it a secret.
I've got a question as well. Okay, when we work with people on the spectrum as well, and it's super important that we always use different communication methods, no? Different, just to suit also different learning styles of students. So we use visuals, we use sounds, we use words, we use just to communicate, no? To support as well what we are saying, what we are teaching, what we are bringing to them, to the world, no? At the end of the story, you are bringing something to the people. And what I admire from your videos is that they are in Italian. I can understand a bit of Italian. We are close, but even if I don't understand it, I would be able to tell you what is the video about, what are you showing. So I think it's a huge skill of yours, in terms of your videos. I don't know if it's something that you think, now you can tell us about it, but is that even if I don't understand the language, I don't need to get the subtitle in English, and I can still tell what is it about, and I can tell. I get your story from the way you film it, the way you. How do you do that?
Well, thank you, first of all. I believe this is a beautiful compliment, honestly, to say that you can understand even without the language barrier. Probably it's related to the reality of the situation that we are showing. I think about the animal example that I mentioned before, when we visit someone, that it's so real and authentic that you feel like you're watching an animal in nature, that they just don't have a language and they just act, and everybody from all over the world can understand what the animal is feeling, what he's doing, if he's scared, if he's happy, if he's, there's kind of a deeper language, in my opinion, that goes beyond the Italian, English, or Spanish language. And in some of our videos, I would be very happy if it happened, because it means that we focused more into being real in that situation, and so you can feel it, and you follow the story. And so I don't really know how, but it happens, and thank you for noticing it and to say it to us. I would keep this compliment.
Any question? Ignacio? Sebastián? Or Ignacio? Mute. Okay, Ignacio?
Hello. No, I don't know. I can't.
Maybe algo sobre cultura italiana, puede ser, comida, anything you want?
No, I traveling to Venezia and Florencia years ago. I mean, I really want these places very much.
Did you like it?
Yes, Venezia I like very, and Florencia as well.
Fantastic.
You didn't stop in Bologna? You didn't stop in Bologna? ¿No paraste en Bologna? In between?
No, I stay in Roma, in Milan, in Venezia, and Florencia.
Wow.
And Pizza, in the Tower of Pizza. The tower inclinated of Pizza. I see this.
Wow.
Did you take the picture with your hands?
No.
Okay. I appreciate it.
But I see all the people. I say they say a stupid thing of the tower.
I went with my mom, and my mom did it, and I said no way, I didn't want to.
Ignacio, you have my admiration for not doing it, but also the
Thank you very much.
You both have something in common, Ignacio and Andrea. I've got Andrea here, and Ignacio also wrote a book, a nice book.
Yes.
As
well. Wow! Congratulations.
What's the name of your book, Ignacio?
It's a title more large. I am embarrassing to say the name of my book. If you want, I watch my book when we stay together. No, I think it's difficult for me the English.
When we are in Madrid, well, you can show your book. That's good. Let's ask Sebastián to ask a question. Sebastián. One question? You might want to ask for Italian food, anything like that?
As well. What is Italian food you eat?
Yeah. I always answer to this question, try to put some light to my region, which is called Emilia-Romagna. And in Bologna, we are famous all over the world for salsa bolognese. But in Italy, it doesn't exist. Fun fact. And we call it ragu, which is just tomato sauce and sausages. combined with pasta. So I would say, in my case, my favorite meal, it's pasta al ragù. That's it. Some cuisine, Italian cuisine.
That was a good question, Sebastian. Sorry, Adria, your turn. Sorry.
I also traveled to also Venezia and Florencia. And I don't know why, but what I didn't expect to find was like we went on summer and they were selling like these cups of fruits in it. Like you could just go to a I don't know how it's called, like a post and buy one of these. And I gotta say, it saved us because dear God was it hot. And having some watermelon in a cup you could just bring anywhere was a grace in disguise.
Yeah, this is something you didn't expect to find in Italy, right? It's more of a tropical place, but yeah, it happens. It happens. So yeah, was it very hot when you were there in summer?
I remember, yeah, I mean, I was, it was like 8 years ago, maybe, so I can really recall what happened. But I remember that I had, yeah, I just remember seeing that watermelon in a cup and saying, "Thank God, I need it, I need it."
It's
Yeah.
a amazing region. All that area, Venice, and then Florence and Verona, all that area is super good. Francia, you want to ask anything?
Yeah, I want to comment. Yes, I can or no? Andrea seems very kind, very humble. I like, yes, I like because something about these characters in the media, yes, internet, sometimes are very
Arrogant?
Egotistical, egotistical.
yes. I don't like it. I don't like it. Uh, this this project and his director Andrea is a new form to know about yes, a person can be kind, humble, and it's not necessary. Yes, have many ego. Yes, to get exit. No. To get
Success. Success?
success. Yes, éxito. It's
Yeah.
like
Success, yes.
commercial.
Yeah. Yes. Well, Francia, fantastic. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your words. And if we want to connect it to the general topic, I see as well on the web many, everybody tries to have a career or to raise their numbers, and everybody has a different personality. But most of the time, it seems that the way they try to have success, it's related to the image and to the impact of on camera, like in a very straightforward way, or very, I don't know. I see as well that in those cases, many influencer just create a bad reputation to our world, and sometimes it happens when I go to speak to in other circumstances, like I don't know, in TV or radio, that when you say social media or influencer, people don't really feel good about it. Because of those people that you were mentioning that are creating a little bit of a bad reputation about it. I think it's part of the platform. it's the beauty of it that everybody can express something and everybody tries to be, with their own personality. I was not expecting that this kind of attitude that we are trying to use on the video, so very calm, could work. I was expecting that only people screaming and doing that kind of stuff would have succeeded, and apparently there are other ways, and now more and more. So I am very glad you noticed it, and thank you for underlining it.
Want to ask a question as well. Connected again with neurodiversity, and well, there are a couple of questions that I would like to do. First, lots of us we have like with the Spanish say intereses profundos, which is like deep interest, no? Certain topics that we love and we go to it, and we just when we get into something like that, it can be manga. It can be Andrea. I'm still playing with the game you gave me. I'm going to send you the game, Andrea. It's a very simplistic game, but I get into it and I can spend. So
that game just scratches the right part of your brain.
yes. It's very. So is first question is what would you say that is your biggest interest? Let's not say deep interest. And then in terms of inclusion as well, I think it's something worth it to ask, no? We our goal in general, all of us, so we some of us writing, some of us are students. Francia is also very present in social medias. It's got a few thousands of followers as well, and we all strive or thrive for a better future, more inclusive future for everybody in the world, no? Like have you seen any good example in any of the countries you have traveled and cities around the world that you say, wow, this is very inclusive, this is amazing, this is something very that I haven't seen before?
Yes. Part of what I love about traveling is this one, to see different approaches to many different topics. And the inclusion topic, it's one of the most valuable for us. And in Italy, for example, we're doing some good things about it. And on the other side, there are something that can be done way better, in my opinion. And when you leave the country and you start to travel around, you notice differences. And I was impressed with how they handle it in the Nordic countries, for example, how many different topics are done, and how inclusive they are towards the minorities, the little groups, the one that are most of the times left behind. And it could be related to ethnicity, it could be related to sexuality, it could be related to even age, because I notice in something that is more related to our work, it's how old people, for example, now we're not focusing on ethnical diversity, but just on age diversity. We noticed that old people are pretty much always left behind in many circumstances. And when we meet them, in general, we meet a lot of old people that are alone, left by the family because they are not interesting anymore, because they need a lot of stuff, because they don't walk anymore, so they leave it behind. And when we go there, they open up with us a lot, and we kind of become their grandchildren for a day, because they are not used to people interested in hearing their stories, and to talk to them in a curious way. So to include all those parts of the society that are at the moment left behind is something that it's very important in our job. And you are doing it incredibly with all the kids you're dealing with. And I see a lot of work that could be done in the today's society. And I am not an expert about it, but I feel like there's a long way to go in many ways in terms of inclusion. Yes.
Thank you. Any questions, Andrea, Ignacio? Any?
Well, something that I could ask backwards, it's about your ability to adjust the language to the people you're helping or talking to. Before you said there are children that needs some language skills or some topics to get involved with, or some others that are into something else. So you're constantly adjusting your language to try to communicate with different people. In our job, it's kind of comparable, but in a smaller way, because it's a bit easier, I think, for us with the interviews. But I noticed that everybody has a key. And if you want to really get into a nice conversation, a deep conversation, you have to try to unlock the key and you have to find it. So at the beginning, you try to know the person and to try to understand it. And I'm fascinating on how you guys find the key to these kids, to these people that sometimes not even their family, not even the people close to them have found, you know.
Thank you. Francia knows a lot about it as well. Any questions more? I think one question we could ask is about yes, we're getting close to the Francia.
Sorry, Abraham. In this moment, I need to leave this meeting because I must go to see patients.
Okay.
In other side.
Okay. Thank you for joining, Francia.
City.
Yeah.
Sorry. Nice to meet you, Andrea. He's so pretty. Yes.
Thank you, Franci.
Yes.
It was beautiful meeting you as well. Thanks for your time.
I think just to close, maybe we should ask something. To close the last few questions. Any about the countries? What was? I think it's a question, very nice question. Somebody asked you yesterday. I think it's what is your favorite country so far? All the trips you have done. What is the favorite city you have visited, or your favorite place?
Yeah, Franci is going. Anyways, we don't want to keep you here longer. Yeah. As I said yesterday, I'm gonna stick with that answer, which I said Norway. It's the country at the moment that gave me the most, because we visited the Svalbard Island, which is the northernmost town on Earth. Nobody's living northern than them. And in that occasion, it was a very, very interesting experience, because those people don't see the sun for 3 months, and then the sun appears after 3 months of darkness. And we just were curious to know, how can you live in such a place? And it felt for us like traveling on another planet, like being on the moon or on somewhere around in the space, not on Earth. And also in terms of inclusion, I felt a place that is better than this. I don't want to say Southern Europe, because I don't know all the other countries, but to my country, I felt like they are more into the future on many topics. And so that's the country I felt I like the most. And then I'm a big fan of Northern Lights, so I cannot do anything about it. If I see the Northern Light in the sky, I just feel emotional straight away.
I'm curious about something. You're talking about how you feel great in Norway. What's something about Italian culture that you would love if it were implemented everywhere else? Like said, everywhere would be better if you just did this.
Nice. That's nice, because many times I have the chance to talk bad about Italy to the negative aspects, but it's nice to underline also some positive stuff, because I believe there are many. The first that comes to my mind is I feel like in Italy we have a very deep culture of the beauty of things. We kind of see the beauty in many things, and it reflects to a very old culture that comes from I don't know where in the past. And even the old people, and even the young people, and people living in the villages, and people doing the job, and in every aspect of the everyday life, there's how people dress, how people talk, how people relate to themselves. There's a beauty in it. There's not a fast way to, and a personal interest in many people, mostly outside the city. And I'm mostly talking about the rural part of Italy. But I see really the culture of beauty. And this is something I would be happy to see it also somewhere else. I visited many places in Italy where when we ask about why this building it's built like this, or why this old house has this kind of shape in the window, and people were saying, oh, because it's beautiful. And this is an answer that I liked. It's something like, wow, you're doing something for the sake of the beauty of it. You're trying to make the world a more beautiful place, not because it's just you pay more money to do it, or it takes more time, just because you like it. And if you start noticing it in Italy, we have still a lot of this stuff that was just created because it's beautiful. And so, yeah, I would be happy to see this even outside.
With nice question. Any other questions, Sebastián, Ignacio, before we finish?
No, muchas gracias thank you very much for the meeting. I passed very well, but I have to go out the meeting.
Okay, we're gonna leave soon. Sebastián, you have any questions? No?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Andrea,
Bye,
any
Ignacio.
questions? More?
I don't think now there's nothing on my mind.
Okay, we have. Okay, so if you don't mind, I want to, then we do this. I want to ask a quick question, so that we can use it also for Instagram. And it's a question that I do to every guest we have in the other podcast we do, Escuchando el Autismo. And it's something for, I think is very important for people that communicate, and you communicate a lot. You're very good at communicating, and it's about smiles, no? In your job or in life, what is the importance of a smile? What is the meaning of a smile for you?
Wow. Well, I believe it's incredibly important to smile, and I'm not talking about the smile that you do because you want to look happy or something. I'm talking about that kind of joy that can be created in many different situations, and it just happens spontaneously, and you feel when somebody kind of lights up with a little smile on his face. It doesn't have to be a big laugh. It's just a tiny piece of light that happens, and to me, when it happens, it's most of the time it becomes the core of our video, the core of our job, to try to create that situation. And looking around nowadays, I don't see it very often. I don't want to sound too critical, but actually I noticed that we're putting the focus on other stuff, and we try to forget about it, and then we end up that we don't remember anymore how to smile again. It's kind of a sad thing to say, but I kind of notice it somehow. And then when it happens, it's just beautiful, and it's contagious as well. The importance to me of a smile, it's also that it connects you to other people, and you share it with other people, and they start smiling as well. And not all the time there has to be a reason to me to smile. It just happens around, kind of a flower that blossoms, and it's I support your slogan of one smile to change the world, because I truly believe it's possibly the most powerful revolution that can be done nowadays.
Thank you. Wow. I think if it looks like we have done it on purpose, because we are 8 seconds away from 1 hour. So I think we can leave it here. Say thank you so much. It's a perfect closure. If we are happy with that, yes. Hope everybody likes it.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Andrea.
It was as well. Thank you for your very interesting questions. We had some nice
Andrea,
conversation.
it was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you,
My
Sebastian.
pleasure.
So thank you, everybody. I hope you have a nice week, and big hug.
You too. Thank you very much for having me. It was beautiful.